Welcome to the lecture. Subject is Python for data science. We will see unit number 2, that is the data science and Python, and we will see the topic, that is discovering the match between data science and Python. So let's see. First of all, considering the emergence of the data science, where this topic data science came from. It came from one paper, that is one research paper entitled Data Science, an Action Plan for Expanding the Technical Areas of the Field of Statistics. So based on the statistics, they have expanded various different technical areas and they have given the name as the data science. So from there, this word data science came from. An early attempt to begin the documenting the importance of statistics appears in the 9th century when one scientist wrote manuscript on deciphering cryptographic messages. This cryptographic messages means the security related to the messages. Whatever messages you are sending, that is either the text message through your mobile phone or the WhatsApp message. Everything is encoded at the sender side and it is decoded at the receiver side. So there are various different cryptographic techniques available through which they are performing the encoding and decoding. In short, this cryptographic word is related to the information security. So based on this cryptographic messages, they have applied the concept of statistics and how they have deal it with, and they have considered this data science as the large field. And first of all, they have applied the statistics concept on the cryptographic messages. Then they have applied the statistics concept on the text data also, on the image data also, and so on. This is how the data science word has expanded a lot, and in today's world, this data science word has various different subtopics. So outline the core competences of a data scientist. So what we have to see over here, that as it is true of anyone performing the most complex trades today, so the data scientist requires the knowledge of a broad range of skills to perform the required task. So if I take an example, that if you know only 2 to 3 techniques related to the data science, then it is not necessary that you can solve every different problem of the data science. So limited knowledge, using the limited knowledge, you can't solve every problem. So a data scientist should require a broad range of skills. So what type of skills that the data scientists have to deal with? The first one is the data capture, then comes the analysis, and then comes the presentation. Data capture means it is the act of capturing the data that begins by managing a data source using the data management skills. So over here, the data scientist must know how to extract the data from the database, that is from the RDBMS. So data scientist must have the knowledge related to it. Also some raw data, that is over here it is written the raw data. The raw data isn't particularly useful in many situations because the raw data can contain some image data, some text data, some unstructured data, some type of structured data. Just for an example, the raw data consists of the some of the data in .csv form, some of the data in Excel form, some of the data in as an unstructured data, and some of the data in terms of SQL. Then such type of raw data is not useful. They have to convert. It means the data scientists have to convert such type of data into some one particular pattern. Suppose they are converting into either the CSV or the Excel or in the SQL, but the complete data set should be in the same format. Then comes the analysis. When the data has captured, the data scientists have to perform the analysis. So in this analysis, they can use a specialized method trick they can apply various different algorithms to extract the patterns from your data. Then comes the presentation. Whatever analysis you have done over here and you are finding the patterns over here, that patterns are in such a way that a technical person can understand. The data scientist can read those patterns, but what about a non-technical person? The non-technical person who does not have the knowledge regarding analysis, then they can't read such patterns. So for that, presentation is very necessary. So in presentation, what you have to do is the patterns should be in some graphical form in such a way that a non-technical person can easily understand that what the graph is showing. So this is what the presentation is. Then comes linking data science, big data and AI. So data science, we all know now that what the data science is. Then comes big data. Big data, it means if your data source, if your data file is in terms of GB, that is gigabytes, or the terabytes, that is TB, then that data is considered as the big data. Then comes artificial intelligence. In short, they are telling us AI. Artificial intelligence means as the humans are working in a similar way, a machine can work. So that concept is called as the artificial intelligence. So how are this data science, big data and AI is related and which are its different applications? So one of the common application that you have seen, that is the in the shopping market. So in a shopping mall, if you are going to purchase a bread and a butter, then you can easily visualize that the bread and butter are not kept at the same place. The bread will be placed at in front and the butter will be at some other end of the shopping mall. Why it is kept in such a manner? Because through analysis they have observed that the bread and the butter are purchased mostly together. So if the DMart or the big bazaars are keeping the bread and butter in the same rack at the same place, then what will happen? The customer will purchase bread and butter and they will directly move to the billing counter. So what about the other products? The other products sales will not be increased like this. So what they are doing, they are keeping bread in front near to the door from where the customers can enter, and they are keeping butter at the end. So to purchase the butter, the customer have to move through the complete shopping market and then they can purchase the butter. So what will happen as the customers are moving in between your market, then there are various different products that the customer will see. So instead of purchasing just bread and butter, it might happen that the customer will purchase some biscuits also or some jam also. So this is how they are increasing their sales. That is linking the data science, big data and AI. So using the AI, they are also telling that what will be their sales in future. Then comes understanding the role of programming. So data scientists may need to know how several programming languages is used in order to achieve the specific goals. So instead of just using the Python, they can also use, the data scientist can also use the MATLAB. This MATLAB is one type of tool which has its own programming language. So they can perform the analysis using the MATLAB. The data scientist must also have some kind of SQL knowledge also to extract the data from the relational databases. Then comes creating the data science pipeline. We have already seen that what the data science pipeline is. It contains various different steps like this. That is preparing the data. It means they have to gather the data. Performing the exploratory data analysis. It means to perform the descriptive statistics, histograms, box plots, bar charts are included in this. Then comes learning from the data. It means over here, they have to apply some machine learning algorithm. Through the machine learning algorithm, they are visualizing some kind of patterns. That means the visualization. Then comes obtaining insights and the data products. It means you have to convert these patterns in such a way that a non-technical person can read it and one can easily find that what will be the profit in your business. Then comes understanding the Python's role in data science, how the Python is useful. What are the advantages? The first one is the functional form of the Python. So Python treats every statement as a mathematical equation and it avoids any form of state or the mutable data. So what is mutable? What is immutable? Mutable means once the object is created, you can change it afterwards. Immutable means once the object is created, you can't change it afterwards. Just for an example, tuple. After creation of a tuple object, that is tuple is one type of data type available in Python. Once the tuple object is created, you can't make changes in the tuple object. But if you are creating string object or the list object, then you can change the data within the string and or within the list. So this is how the Python is useful to many developers. Then comes the imperative form of the Python. So it performs the computations as a direct change to a program state, and also whatever the code is written, it is simple and the elegant. That's why the Python is useful. Then comes the object oriented capability of the Python. In Python you can do the object oriented programming, that is you can make some kind of complex applications using the OOP concept, that is the object oriented programming concept. Then comes the procedural. So in Python, you can also make the procedural code, that is, it takes the step-by-step iterations. Then comes the library support. There are various libraries available which is developed by the third party. So there are large number of libraries available in the Python that you can use it. So your code will become easy. Just for an example, the libraries like NumPy and the Pandas. The Pandas library is very useful if you want to read any kind of data set. Then you can just write read underscore CSV or read underscore Excel, just one function which is present in the Pandas library, and it makes your code very short and simple. So it has numerous numbers of library support, and that libraries can be built by the third party. Also the parallel processing, the Python program, the Python language, programming language supports the parallel processing. It means it supports the concept of thread. That is, in operating system, you have studied the concept of concurrency. At the same time, two processes are running. So that concept in Java is called as the threading. So Python supports such kind of parallel processing also. So these are the various different advantages of the Python. Then comes the data access. So this huge amount of data can't all exist in memory. So forecast relies on a MySQL database accessed through the MySQL DB. This is one type of library. By using such kind of library, you can also do the coding related to the databases. That is, you can connect your programming language to the database using the Python. Then comes the data display. So using the various different libraries, that is the Matplot library and so on, the Python is useful to display the data graphically. So this is how the Python is useful. Then comes working with Python. So we will see we have already seen that how the Python language is working. What is the need of the indentation? Indentation means space. Just for an example, if you write the for loop, then the for loop does not support any kind of curly brackets. We have to give some space. That space after the for loop line is called as the indentation, to show that this particular statements are present within the for loop. For the if statement also, you have to give some indentation. Indentation means some space or the tab from your keyboard. So Python does not support any kind of curly brackets or any kind of brackets to indicate the scope of the statement, or to indicate the scope of the if, or to indicate the scope of the for loop, or the scope of the while loop. So for that, over here indentation is used to indicate the scope. That's why the indentation is very necessary in Python. Then we have already seen how to use the Anaconda package, how to do the command line programming. In the very first video lectures, I have told you that how to use the Anaconda prompt. Then IPython environment, it means we have used the Jupyter notebook whose extension is .ipynd. It means your IPython notebook. So that is the IPython environment. You can also make use of the scripts using the spider. So the scripts using the spider, that we will see in the next lecture. So keeping it till here, thank you all.